How's it going, everybody? Let me fix this there. I should do it. How's it going, guys? I haven't made a video in around 2 weeks now. The passing of my Uncle Peter has had a big impact on my family and myself, and you know, Lord rest him, he's in a better place now. But I've had a lot of time to think over the last 2 weeks. I haven't made any videos at all. But I was thinking about something. I was thinking about like how to simplify anxiety recovery and agoraphobia recovery for people. And it's very simple with everything in life when it comes to if you've adopted a certain behavioural pattern that's kept you stuck and you're unhappy. It's like someone who's, let's say, overweight, okay? You know, they've accumulated a certain amount of fat that's making them so unhappy and lethargic, and what keeps them in that cycle? How did they get there in the first place? Of course, what kept them in the cycle? How people put on fat? No exercise, eating too much calories, you know, eating non-nutritional foods. That's what's keeping that person overweight. You know, if that person wants to lose weight, how does that person go about that? You know, it has to be old psychology versus new psychology. It has to be a total lifestyle change for that person to lose, let's say, 10 kilogram of weight. So how, like, what does that person have to do? The person has to, I guess, assess themselves, even from what they eat, what they do first thing in the morning, to when they go to sleep. What they've been doing to keep them in the cycle, and you know, does it serve them? If someone wants to lose weight, are they going to continue to eat like large amounts of high calorie foods like Chinese takeaways every night, pizzas every night? No, of course not. They're going to have to, you know, balance that out. Doesn't mean that they're never going to have to not eat it again. They can balance it out. Have a, you know, twice every month, 3 times every month or whatever, compared to nearly 20, 30 times a month. What that person needs to do then he or she needs to go and get certain foods, look after their sleep, get up and take walks, get up and cycle the bike. You have to have an exercise pattern. But what that person will do then is, a lot of people resistance, and it happens to a lot of people who have anxiety disorders, the resistance towards change is so hard for people. The person badly wants to lose weight, and they're low on confidence. You know they visualize themselves without this weight, and there's so much, they feel healthier, but they just can't get around to it because the resistance that has on them. So where am I going with this, guys? What I'm talking about was patterns and behaviors, what keeps people stuck in cycles and what they have to do to get out of it. You know, it's a total lifestyle change, and you know, that's exactly what's happened to people with anxiety disorders and agoraphobia. You know, people are stuck in these behavioral conditions, and it's what's keeping you stuck, what's keeping that person stuck in like being overweight. They're not exercising, they're eating unhealthy. If they could just stop doing that for a long period of time, the results they'd have is amazing. And it's the same thing with someone that's struggling with anxiety disorder. They stop doing these behavioral conditions that keeps them stuck. You know, if you stop fearing these symptoms, if you stop and start living your life more, if you start exposing yourself more, and it always starts off slow. You know, anxiety recovery is always a slow process, guys. And it's like, it's someone who's trying to lose weight thinks they can lose weight in 2 weeks. They're fooling themselves, guys. And they know that. They know they're going to have to stick to a plan to at least 6 months to get their results. Not just weight gain, not just weight loss, but weight gain. You know, it's changing the body, changing the mind. And that's like anxiety recovery. And you're not just going to get these results in days and weeks. You've been stuck in this cycle for many, many, many years. You cannot get these results in a couple of weeks. It has to be a couple of months, guys. You have to be living a certain way and doing certain things. Stop doing the things that have kept you in the cycle, the avoidance, the not getting on trains, the not getting on cars, staying in the house all day long. All these things that have showed the brain, I'm terrified, the brain's stuck in this, and you know, you feel like there's no way out. So what I'm trying to do is trying to simplify it for people that if you want to get out of anxiety disorders, and specifically agoraphobia as well, you've got to develop a certain amount of habits. You've got to stop doing what keeps you stuck in the cycle. And it's so simple. That's why I wanted to make this video. It's not easy, but it's simple. It's simple, but it's not easy. You know, and all you gotta do is do a couple of months of consistent work, and it'll get you very, very, very far. You know, what happens, people is they start exposure and they do well for a couple of days, and then they just feel so tired and overwhelmed that they retreat back into the bubble of comfort, and you know, they never get out of that, because the resistance then to go back at it the next day is like, no, they feel like they need rest, and they do, they need rest, but not as much as they think. You know, they feel that, like with me, I thought like I just needed to sleep all day, and you know, after recovery, after I do exposure, I was so drained, and I didn't want to, like, I always felt there was a different way to do this. I always felt that this would just go one day, and I had to live 10 years because of that mindset, 10 years of that crap. So what I'm trying to say is, guys, the behaviours that are keeping you stuck in this cycle, if you can eliminate them and focus on new behaviours, it's old psychology versus your new psychology. If you can adopt these behaviours into your life, get past that resistance for a good couple of months, you know, that's where recovery lies, guys. Recovery lies in the places you fear. And you'll start to realise going into these places and, you know, dealing with the anxiety. I guess it's different with someone who's just fully sensitised right now. I have some coaching clients who are fully sensitised, and they're not afraid to get in cars and buses, nothing like that. They're not afraid of that. You know, they're not in agoraphobic patterns. So people, like that person who's just sensitised just needs rest. Their body just needs to, you know, balance out. They just need to balance out, and that will happen naturally over time. And it's important that they don't get stuck into those rituals of avoidance that will prolong the recovery. You know, people who are stuck in a sensitised state with no agoraphobic tendencies, they just need to have an understanding of what anxiety is, the stress response, everything like that, and start adopting small little habits like relaxation, eating healthier, giving up alcohol or drugs or whatever got them into the place of the first time. Give all that up and let the body heal naturally, and then the anxious state, when you stop fighting it, will heal. And Claire Week spoke about this work. She's the gold standard of anxiety recovery, and everyone, whether they want to accept it or not, everyone's method now, when they're preaching about anxiety recovery, is coming from Claire Weeks. The gold standard of anxiety recovery is from Claire Weeks. So that's it, guys. If you want to recover from anxiety, you know, if people are, what I've noticed with my clients, the people I work with, like people who are stuck in agoraphobia tendencies, or people who are just sensitised with no agoraphobia tendencies, the advice I'm giving is totally separate. It's totally different. The advice I give to someone who's struggling with full sensitization is just relax, recovery, keep engaging with the world, plenty of rest. And all that person has to do is just stop fighting the cycle, stop fighting the anxiety. It's all these thoughts and crazy thoughts that's going on in your mind. None of them mean shit. You know, it's just your body's stressed, your mind is stressed. Let it be. Let your mind rest. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no psychotic break here. There's no anxiety disorders. They're not mental illnesses, guys. You know, they're not, and they'll never put you into a mental illness. It never cause a psychotic break or anything like that. Stop thinking about that. Leave your mind be. You know, feed your body some healthier foods. Drink more water. Do some relaxation that will make you just, you know, you will get out of that state. Your anxiety will then just lower. People who are stuck in that anxious state panic 24/7. Your body and mind are just waiting to get into some sort of homeostasis and just rebalance itself. So that's the advice I give to someone who's fully sensitized and has no agoraphobic tendencies. And someone who has agoraphobic tendencies, I give totally different advice, which is behavioural condition. You're stuck in a behavioural condition. That's what this is. Agoraphobia is a behavioural condition. You're stuck in it, and you know, all you got to do is you got to fight that old psychology, and it's so much resistance. And the only way you can overcome it is be consistent for a couple of months. You know, and that's, I don't think I've ever seen anyone, like, I think one or two people like that have spoken that their recovery has been around like a full year. Mine was 5 months, and now I've been in contact with a lot of people who have recovered from anxiety disorders for many years. People stuck in it for 20 years and have recovered in, you know, 6, 8, 9 months. So what I'm saying is, you know, I'd never give the wrong advice to people out there. As you know, that I always say that people who have these disorders and anxiety, panic, agoraphobia have a very, very close I have a very, I guess, soft spot for those people who are going through this, and I'd never give the wrong advice. I'd always, you know, do this for the good of others and give the best advice I can. And people who have recovered from this, guys, it just takes a couple of months. It really does, guys. If you can adapt this, the brain is so neuroplastic that if you stop doing these behaviours and start going towards and start finding that resistance, within a couple of months you can be in a totally different place. And even in a couple of months, if you can just eradicate half of the disorder or 3/4 of the disorder, guys, that's what happened to me. Like, I got to a certain stage where I was like, I felt so much recovery, but I wasn't fully recovered. But then the last bit of recovery was so just plain sailing, and it was so easy. Yeah, guys, so habits and behaviours, like, habits and behaviours are key to agoraphobia and overcoming agoraphobia. You gotta stop doing what's keeping you stuck in a cycle, which is avoidance, avoidance, avoidance. And I mean, stop it from the moment you wake up. The moment people wake up. For me, I was just staying in bed for I could stay in bed for 2 hours, procrastinating, worrying, Groundhog Day, here we go again. You gotta stop that, guys. You gotta have a plan set for your day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep at night. And that plan will come gradually, because you're still gonna be tired and you're still gonna be getting used to these habits and stuff like that. But I just wanted to simplify in this video anxiety recovery and agoraphobia recovery. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to make another video again because it's been a while. This is 12 minutes long. Probably gonna end it there. As you know, guys, I don't edit my videos. I just speak from the heart. I had no set plan here. I never do. I just speak, and that's that. I try to give the best information I can. Provide hope. And the thing is, like, this isn't like something you're stuck with the rest of your life, guys. You just have to adopt new habits into your life when it comes to agoraphobia. So yeah, that's it, guys. I just wanted to kind of, I guess, elaborate more on behaviours and patterns that are keeping us stuck, and compare it to things like losing weight and putting on weight. Like, if you really want to do that, you gotta be consistent. You gotta be consistent. You can't do this for 2-3 weeks and then just fall off and go back into your old routine. Even if when you think it's not working, it's like someone's trying to lose weight and they're being healthy for 3 weeks, but they're not losing any weight. But on a cellular level, like, so much is changing. They're just not seeing it. And it's the same with, you know, facing and avoidances to agoraphobia and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot happening on the cellular level, guys, in the mind and the body that you're not even seeing yet, because you still think that you're panicking and stuff like that. But you got to keep going. You got to keep going towards it. And, you know, it doesn't get worse, guys. All you miss out on is life. And that's the saddest part. It's the saddest part for me, missing out on so much. But I have it all back now. And as you know, I never take it for granted. So that's it, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to post this now. I haven't posted in a long time, so hope everyone's keeping well, and have a good day.